I'm Liliani from Beta College of English. Welcome to today's free tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to look at describing your house and neighbourhood. I live in a 4-bedroom, 3-storey, semi-detached house which is located in a housing estate on the outskirts of Dublin. When talking about your house, there's some basic information you can give. I started by saying that I live in a 4-bedroom house. In English, we usually talk about the number of bedrooms a house or apartment has, as opposed to the total number of rooms. We just assume there is a kitchen, a sitting room, and at least one bathroom. So we only count the number of bedrooms. So you might live in a 1-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom house. In the UK and Ireland, we might also use the word flat instead of apartment. The second piece of information I gave you about my house was that it's a 3-storey house. My house has 3 floors or levels. So you might say you live in a 2-storey house. If your house only has 1 level, then you can describe it as a 1-storey house or a single-storey house. We don't say I live in a 2-floor house or a 2-level house. But if you live in an apartment, you can say you live on the 2nd floor or the 5th floor, on the 28th floor, and so on. An apartment can have 2 floors. This type of apartment is called a duplex apartment. Flats are always on 1 floor only. The third piece of information about my house is that it's semi-detached. This means that my house shares a wall with another house. It's like my house is glued together to another one just beside it. If your house does not share any walls with another house and sits totally independent from other houses, it's a detached house. If you live in a house that shares one wall with another house on one side and also on the other side, then it's a terraced house. I then said that my house is located in a housing estate. A housing estate usually refers to a group of houses which tend to be similar in style and are built by the same company at the same time. Are housing estates common in your country? I live in a housing estate, but you might live on a busy street in the city centre or in a residential area. Finally, I said that I live on the outskirts of Dublin. I don't live in the city centre. I live on the outskirts of the city. I could also say that I live in the suburbs. The difference between outskirts and suburbs is that the suburbs are usually residential areas, meaning there are a lot of houses there, whereas the outskirts are not necessarily residential. So the outskirts of a city might be industrial, meaning with a lot of factories, or rural, with just fields with no houses, or very few houses or factories. Now that you've heard about my house, why don't you tell us about where you live on our Facebook page? Thanks for listening. See you next time.